Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly timeframes. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. Go to our website, sign up for the free membership for email alerts to videos like this, live streaming action, trade ideas, and a little bit more. Go there, sign up guys, it's free. What do you have to lose? All right, let's get into the daily spider, and what a day it was. We actually closed below the 50 and the 20 MA and the trend line. First step of the process doesn't mean they can't pop this thing right back up. If they do that, look for a gap up and a go. They try to get it higher because if this thing starts breaking down, someone's going to have to save it, especially on the light volume. If they could gap this thing up and get it going, they get believers out of everybody. And if it does do that, remember, guys, got to get above the pivot, fill the gap, get to the all-time high, 240.32. And then I think you could probably go to 242 and then 250, 244. 250 area, that's a big number too. But, one step at a time, got to make a move up and get, above these pivots here. That's going to be a big task. Light volume could float it up, but I'd like to see a reversal and then pop up if you're bullish. If you're bearish now, you want to see more follow through on here to the downside. If we do get some tomorrow, I want to see a close in this area here, 230, 230. I'd love to see a close at double bottom, but I don't know if we're going to get that. We'll get, whatever the markets give us, that's what we're going to take. And then we'll, come back and look at this chart and see what it's telling us, especially on a weekly basis too. So it'll be interesting tomorrow's action. Again, nothing wrong. Still, above the 200 up in this area, but inside bar bearish pattern could possibly starting to play out. Again, gotta wait. I'm getting excited, guys, but you know what? I've been not burned, but it's like next day we're up 300, and it's like, dang, not again. But the IWM guys, and then back on the SPY, 81 million on a day, still light volume, nothing crazy. But on the IWM or the Russell, man, retrace, comes back in, tries again, inside bar, boom, comes back. Nice reversal today on the daily. I want to see some follow through. If we get some follow through, look out. I think this one's going to start leading the way down. If it does, and if it does do that, everything else will follow, I promise you. If you're looking at a little bit more on the bullish side, needs to get back above the MAs. This was a fighting chance yesterday where it's like, wow, they might actually push this thing up higher, and boom, today right back in, got more distribution, I believe, in everyone's face, because everyone, oh, here we go again, hop on board, and then boom, reverse right back down. Again, lower highs, and just chopping, guys, chopping, bearish, chopping, bearish, chopping. This was bearish, down, bearish. Did we go one leg down to double bottom? We're going to find out tomorrow. Again, bullish, need to get above this pivot, hit the all-time high, go for the trend line up here, and then possibly 145 to 150 if it really starts rolling. If you're bearish, so far so good. Needs to continue tomorrow with some follow through. I'd love a close below this pivot and get somewhere down in this area, even double bottom. That would be even a little bit better. Then we wait for pattern and then possibly the next leg down. But again, a little early to tell. Volume was okay today on here, still light, but a little bit more than these 2 days. Yesterday wasn't bad and today wasn't bad, but love the reversal on the IWM. I'll take that any day, especially if you are short this one. Qs, again, retrace back up, pop, 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 and then the big pop drop right back in. A little bit bearish consolidation inside bar, and boom, we're starting to break down. Still inside this bar, still nothing wrong. If we crack below the 129.47 area, I think it's going to be on. We're easily coming down in here. And then, of course, there's some gaps to fill down here. I'm still thinking November, guys, on these charts for everything, but one step at a time. The Trump trade, I mean, come on, the guy hasn't done anything yet. Hopefully he will do something, but I don't know. Like any other politician, will he get anything done? But anytime, a little bit weaker today. We are below the 20 MA still on this, starting to roll over a little bit. Volume sucked today though, so you got to watch for that. Still above the 50. Nothing really wrong. If it does come back in and retest the lows of this, this area in here, these low pivots, then you got to look out, especially if the 50 MA doesn't hold up. This could be one of those where all of a sudden we're down at 120 in 3 days and everyone's like, dang, man, that's freaking crazy. So just be alert in these markets, guys. That's all I'm saying. But the Qs, again, nothing wrong. Above the 50 and the 200. Still has to give us a little bit more. But tomorrow's close is going to be real important if they could push these things up back above the MAs, even on the SPY, on everything basically, and then float it into the weekend basically, and then everyone's happy. 3-day weekend, Good Friday off, all that good stuff, and then markets come back refreshed on Monday, and hopefully we get the buy the dip mentality, right? So, all All right, the DIA, again, great bullish or bearish pattern. Below the MAs, it closed below both of them today. Still holding the trend line, but man, I like this. Other than this little dip, it's pretty tight. I mean, you can make a case that it's micro bullish in a macro bearish setting, but back below the 20 and the 50. If you're bullish, you need to get it back above here. Hit the pivot, hit the pivot over here, attack the all-time high, 211.59. If we do that, if it gets above there and confirms it, man, I think we could go to 220, 218 area up in here. But until then, I just don't believe these markets are going too much further, guys. We're due for a good pullback, and how deep it goes, I don't know. But just keep pointing these markets. We could still pop up. For I know we pop up and we're 500 up on news tomorrow. So I wouldn't rule out anything at this point. But again, bearish pattern here. That's what's starting to set up. If we start slipping, then we'll have to look at gap fill possibilities as this thing's falling down. Still have a nice area down in here, but ultimately, again, like everything else, you still have real good areas in November, where we're at lows and with gap fills too. So I wouldn't rule these areas out, guys. If we, staircase up, elevator down, happens every time. All right, let's go into the IYT. This one's got smoked today. I mean, we were talking about this bearish or bullish pattern. Overall bearish, but we had a micro bull. Where it's like, gosh, if this thing's building some pressure to pop. If it pops, we could probably go right here. But if this thing fails and drops, then look out below. We're going a lot lower. So right now, first piece of the puzzle, we could go right back up tomorrow, right back above the 50 like it's nothing. So this pattern hasn't failed completely yet. If we close down here tomorrow or double bottom, then it's kind of failed. But I wouldn't still rule out a possible bounce off a double bottom. But I think if anything, this is your area to get a bounce from like 154 to 150. I mean, I like the 148, 47 area, but we're going to have to see if this falls right into it. Maybe we'll have to see how that works. We'll have to watch a couple other indicators too that I watch for that. But right now, nothing wrong still. Back below the MAs, which is a little bit weaker. And this red bar kind of ugly, but let's see what we get tomorrow. Do we get follow through or just a pause day? You know what? Tomorrow, we'll know a little bit more about this one. Now, the USO, guys. The USO has been thinking about this today, and we went up, and markets didn't follow. That's talking to us, guys. You know what? I think this could be the last leg of this one. We maybe fill the gap. They gap it up. We go up here. We're adding more of the SCO, and we'll probably go short the USO as well. We'll start adding to that as well. But again, great run. If you tighten those stops, if you're long, you are above the MA, so it's strong. What you're looking for a base here, and then the next move up on oil. If it bases and then drops and comes back through these moving averages, expect double bottom and then lower prices. I still have in the cards around 750 for USO, but we'll see what happens. Everyone thinks I'm nuts. I think AMD's going to 945. They all think I'm crazy. But we'll see. Market sell. Everything's going lower. It really doesn't matter. Right now, USO, nothing wrong. Make sure it stays above the moving averages on the daily time frame. If it stays above there, you're okay. If it gets back below, then tighten that stop out because you can come back for a little shortville, down to the double bottom and then further down as the markets are bleeding too. So again, early in the innings, guys. Let's see what happens tomorrow. See how the markets react going into the weekend. UUP down again today, down 13 cents. Not a bad, kind of weak today. They're trying to bring that dollar down. Dollar down, oil down today. A little interesting. Usually the other way. Dollar down, gold up though today. Dollar keeps going down. That gold's going to start ripping. So keep an eye on this. Again, good support into the 20 MA. Wouldn't rule that it would go down a little bit lower. I'd still love to see down in this area, 25. Let's see if we get there. If not, then look for this, bullish pattern. It did come back in, so this will be slightly bearish if it goes sideways. But again, nothing really saying now other than a slight choppy, sloppy, bullish sort of a pattern. But if you look at the overall, it's kind of an inside bar bearish pattern. So it's like a 50-50 shot from here. But you do have support with the 618, the 20 MA. It closed right above the 20 MA. So let's see what happens tomorrow. And plus on the weekly close, we'll have to go from there. If you're long, just tighten the stops up. I still think dollar's going up, but I wouldn't rule out some pullbacks. We are making higher or lower highs as we go down too, so that's kind of suspect. If we could get back above this pivot here or even this pivot there, then that's telling me we could possibly have higher prices on this one. So the GLD though, guys, the GLD just keeps going. We talked about this choppy, sloppy pattern for the last couple weeks, and boom, we're taking off. We actually did confirm on the daily, but I think they got one more pullback because it's just that's too easy, guys. I mean, we had some pretty good choppy, sloppy, bullish sessions above or consolidation above the MAs. it is going off from there. But we had a lot of resistance here. Does it come back in and retest and then go? If you look at the weekly was the one we've been watching too. You have the 200 and the 50, and it did finally pop through the 50. I want to see this thing close up here, and then next week I want to see it close up here. If it does that, then I think we are in for higher prices. I want to see more volume pick up too on this too. It was nice though. Bang, retrace, boom, off to the races again. So let's see if we can keep making higher lows as we step up, and hopefully we get to this high at the 131, and then maybe a pierce, and then maybe even get to 135 or so. Who knows? But again, one day at a time, guys. I'm a little excited. Everything's working out pretty good. Some of our shorts are coming in. We covered a couple today. We took actually one winner today on our short position list, which was PLCE, which was cool. And yeah, everything's looking good, guys. And let's go into Jnug. Jnug. If I could get it in there. And Jnug on the daily, guys, is remember, we talked about that 20 MA, and we talked about this bullish pattern, and man, it's holding. It's holding. Not the best, not the worst. Overall, it's still bearish, but you might still get a slight bullish pop here. You start getting it to the 10, 1170. You got to take something off. You get up here, you got to take the rest of it off, let it pull back, and do it again. I mean, this is the time I might take off, maybe half of the half, and let a quarter run. But, just don't get greedy, guys. If you're in this thing from 5 and you're hitting 759, that's a hell of a trade right now. If you start hitting, 9, 10 bucks, oh my gosh, you got to take something off. You're in it from, in this area here, I mean, even in it from 632, you get to 10 bucks, 11 bucks, gosh, you got to take something off the table. So anyways, as long as you're staying above these trend lines, you're okay. If it starts getting back below, you know what to do. If you're not loaded to the house, which I'm sure all you guys are, then this is your area, 383 to 431. That's the next area where you want to buy. So if it did pull back straight down to here, this is the area where you want to get interested in. And even the $5 area, I'd let it pierce and come back down. But again, nothing wrong. It's riding the wave, making higher lows here, and coming off this inside bar, bullish pattern. So see if we get above the 828 or so, the 50 MA. If we get above here, then I think we're going to 9. 9's going to have some big resistance. We're going to have to see. But again, this thing could just rocket ship and go straight up and start ripping off heads. Remember back here, though, this was a pretty good bullish pattern. We popped, and then boom, came right back in. So you got to be careful with that one. Great. We might get some follow through, but see how it launch, and then the big green one. If we get a big green one, it goes to 9, 10 bucks. Get the hell out. Sell something. Sell something. If it goes up a little more, do it again. Quarter this, and then boom, out. But again, hold on to this one if you're a Jnug fan. Again, anything's possible. This could go flying down tomorrow, but the areas of support. If it comes back down, 20 MA, you got the trend line, you got some other stuff too, and just watch it, see what this thing does. But if we get some follow through with GLD tomorrow, this thing will definitely go up another 50 cents or so, so keep an eye on that. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Again, if you like the videos, go to the website, sign up, guys. It's free. What do you have to lose? We do a lot of this stuff. The live sessions are great. We get a bunch of people, 40, 50 people involved. Everyone's throwing out trades. We're looking at setups. We're trying to make money intraday. Sign up. You get emails to that. It's free, guys. I do them on YouTube during the intraday action, trying to do some at night here and there. So getting a little different variety of people on board. We're looking for more option traders, stuff that we can, okay, all right, if we're going to take Jnug, what's the option to play on this one? You want to buy a call? At what strike would give us the best bang for the buck? Stuff like that. So, but, right now, guys, let's just follow the charts and see what these markets give us. Tomorrow, we're looking for volume on the SPY, maybe get a little bit more of a pullback. I'm still looking for some possible early morning sell-off, and then, again, float during the day, and we'll see if we could play something tomorrow. We are short the markets right now because I believe we're trying to make a top, and that's how we're sticking with it at StockBookie.com. Again, everyone, thanks for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.